Hello everybody, I'm Åke Svensson. I'm the coordinator of the Swedish National Platform. The Swedish National Platform was formed in 2007 and consists today of 19 agencies, spanning from the environmental agency to small technical institutes like the Swedish Geotechnical Institute. In 2010, the Swedish National Platform was ready to start a discussion whether disaster risk reduction and climate change are on the same agenda or are different agendas. We had quite intense discussions on that and finally ended up with a decision from the steering group of Director Generals that disaster risk reduction is a part of climate change. The next step we took, we started to prepare to get the fully integration of disaster risk reduction information into an already existing climate change portal. Today, the Swedish platform is a part of a network that's supporting the forming of a national knowledge and information center for both climate change and disaster risk reduction within the Swedish Meteorological Institute. My problem today is to get these 19 agencies to voluntarily share their information on disaster risk reduction into this center, into the center's web portal, in order to get informed decision-making on climate change that includes disaster risk reduction.
Hi, my name is Rosane. I work in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, in a city they call Duque de Caxias. I am Undersecretary for Protection Community. And we work with 2,000 volunteers and 300 leadership. We try to mapping this risk situation. We work with to mapping this risk situation. My challenge is how these people can be this awareness to go into action. How can the information can help the people to take a decision about their life. This is my big challenge. It's okay. The next, please, is.
My name is Eslin Karabiti. I come from the Vanuatu Meteorology and Geohazards Department in Vanuatu, one of the Pacific Islands. My role is to manage geological hazards in Vanuatu. That includes volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and tsunami hazards. My main issue is that coming from an island where there are many islands spread, we have so many hazards, but we have little resources to be able to manage those. And we have a few instrumentations that can help us to be able to collect information about those hazards and be able to give warnings to the communities. And the timeline or the time of information issuance or warning issuance compared to the detection of an event, especially in cases of earthquake and tsunami, is quite long. So the solution would be to be able to share my information, Vanuatu information with other countries in the Pacific, share earthquake information, using a same server so that all countries can share data to have a fast earthquake determination, earthquake parameters determination, to be able to improve our tsunami warning systems, not only in Vanuatu, but also in the Pacific Islands, other Pacific Islands.
My name is Jutta May, and I'm working for SOPEC in the Pacific region on information management. The information and knowledge spectrum on the slide shows the ongoing process of collecting information from different sources and making it accessible, for about translating information to our users, helping them to understand it, putting the right people together to improve the use of knowledge in disaster risk reduction, and to create an environment which stimulates innovation and enables change. So, how does that translate into informed decision-making? Elizabeth Longworth, the Director, United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, says,
information and knowledge are absolutely fundamental for building resilience. We need open access to data, we need risk information, we need to be able to share that information. So having the networks, having the knowledge management systems, building the capacities for the exchange of this information is really fundamental. And in the Hyogo framework, Pillar 3 is actually about the commitment to build this knowledge with innovation, with education, and build a culture of safety and resilience. And this is a fundamentally important commitment for reducing disaster risk, and it's one of those commitments that must be carried forward into the new framework, the successor framework, or what we call HFA2.
Hi, I'm Sarah Wade Apicella with the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, and I'm the managing editor for Prevention Web. And we're asking ourselves, how does that transfer into informed decision making? Well, we have begun a process that involves Oke and Khozani and Eslin and Jutta and many, many, many others. And this process started over 2 months ago in an online dialogue with over 300 participants. And then the UN Office for Disaster Risk Reduction convened here at the 4th session of the Global Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction, a workshop on Monday, May 20th. And that workshop on information and knowledge management for disaster risk reduction included 57 participants from 30 countries, representing 11 governments and 5 regional intergovernmental organizations. We also had among us the UN, private sector, other networks. It was truly multi-stakeholder. And our work is culminating into what we hope to become a framework for information and knowledge management for disaster risk reduction. So the future of that framework can provide a lot of guidance on.
We need to have an enabling environment in terms of people with the right skills and capacities, in terms of the right policy in place, and also the supportive leadership to make it happen.
We also need to have a system with planning, design, its content, and its monitoring and evaluation.
Y también necesitamos comunicación, comunicación interna y comunicación externa. So we need communication internally and externally.
And at this workshop with all these people, we looked ourselves in the mirror and we said we have a lot of common issues that we have to look and solve. And some of those issues are that we can't share and access information very easily. We have no systematic way of getting information from the field to global levels. There's a lack of standards and structured metadata to help us better manage that information and knowledge. And once we have that, the analysis is very limited. So we need to come up with better models, analysis. And there's a poor flow of information sometimes getting to the decision maker and to the policy side. So we have a lack of flow. And of everything else, there's a lack of sort of dedicated skills and capacities.
Yeah, and to deal with all of this, towards the next steps, we came up with an action plan. And in this action plan, within 6 months, we aim to achieve finalizing the framework crossing the T's and dotting the I's, strengthening the IKM for DRR network, and developing a good practice template.
So within a year, we will try to organize the regional level, this type of workshop. We'll also try to communicate the framework with other agencies. We'll also explore standards, and we'll do a stock taking.
In reality, this discussion has been gone on for more than 25 years, and it's going to go on for another 25. So the longer-term strategy, we're looking within 2 years. The aim is to submit an IKM proposal to the World Conference to further the inclusion of IKM in the HFA2, to engage citizens in IKM for DRR, to establish guidelines for monitoring and evaluation. So stick with us for the next 25 years.
So information and knowledge management. You've heard a little bit about our meetings, you've heard a little bit about our discussions, and you've heard a little bit about the community we're forming with all of these information and knowledge managers. Just to repeat, information and knowledge management is about putting the informed in informed decision making. It's not about technology, it's about people. So we'd like you to join our network, preventionweb.net/IKM for DRR. See you online.
Just in the nick of time.